Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss pre-market video for Monday, February 7th, 2022. I am Frank Ochoa, aka PivotBoss. Here's a look at the daily time frame of the ES. Here you'll see the ES currently trading right at the basically a doji right now, right? The previous month's close price right inside that narrow pivot range here, and currently trading 29% of average range. The average for the ES on a 10-day period has been 124 points. 124 points, and right now we're trading just 36.5 points of range. So a very, very quiet start right now to the week so far. And if you look at it again, here's the previous week's high, here's the previous week's low, and this is where we are at the moment. We're right at the previous week's close and midpoints, and right inside that weekly pivot range. So again, there's a shot here to go to either edge. You're either coming back to retest the previous week's low, or we're going to go higher and retest the previous week's high at some point. And again, right now we're kind of right at the center, compressing, and at some point we'll make that move. Not the easiest decision here to figure out which way we're going right away, but overall, from this low and from the path we've seen higher, any pullback right now could be an opportunity to look for a rejection and swing it higher, perhaps even back toward the highs of the recent key range, 47.39.5. So a very strong move overall. From the recent lows, we're now inside of a range here, and we'll see which way we go at the moment. But whichever way we start the week, if we start the week down first, it could be an opportunity to buy the early dip for a continuation up. If we start the week with some sort of rejection near the highs, we could be looking at another round of weakness ahead. Remember, after this big wave down here, this strong pullback has been met with some weakness. We could see another shakeout leg ahead, or perhaps even a new low. In that case, any test below this key range low could provide a tremendous trap opportunity, and perhaps one of the best buying opportunities of the year for a shot back up the range and into the end of the year. All right, let's take a look now at the NQ. You'll see right here the NQ inside day as well, 28% of average range. It's been averaging 563 points over the last 10 sessions per day. And right now we're at 158.5 points currently in the session, inside day, and again right at the center of the previous week's range, also chopping around the previous week's close. So again, there's a shot here to either rally back to the previous week's high up here. That'll put you back to 15,260. Otherwise, a failure from these levels and a drop back to the previous week's low puts you into the 4,353s here. And either one of those or both could be tested this week, as we are currently in this range after this recent low. Now again, given this recent drop here, if there's any failure to hold this lower end here, we could be looking at a quick drop to these new lows, in which case we could be looking at one of the best buy opportunities of the year for the NQ. Recall that if we have this key range here with this width, it would project a target up here of 18,300 right there, 18,312.5. So if price were to drop down here and there's a trap, say here, of the key range low, there could be a potential 13,000 to 18,000 type of play up ahead, given the measurement here of this key range and the overall trajectory of this long-term trend. So that's going to be one of the long-term things here to watch out for. For today, again, very narrow compression at the moment. You got to see which way it shakes out. Here's a look at crude oil. Now, crude oil just came off of a new high here, Friday session, 93.17s. Right now, trading 92.04s. Another strong rotation to the upside. We talked about the potential of a downside push here and a big springboard move higher. And price did that, only took out a one-day low here, became an outside day up, and then rallied pretty significantly here. Overall, this move right here, a good 6+ point move, and that's what we were forecasting before, at least a 6-handle move. So if we bring this back to, say, a 4-day range, squeeze this back this way. When we were quantifying this here recently, we had this narrow 4-day range that we were quantifying, and we said, okay, that should take us to about 6 points within about 4 days time, and here it is. That's the low move. That's the high point of the move. Within 4 days, we have matched 6+ points, and we go from magenta to blue. So that's exactly how you would draw up an ADR compression to expansion phase using the PivotBoss Advanced ADR indicator. But right now, looking to load it back up, the next pullback again offers an opportunity to continue higher to match that key range high at 96.03 up above. That's the next major target up above. So again, any pullback, even a 1-day push below the 8-period average could be enough to fling this thing into 96s by the end of the week. All right, let's take a look here at Bitcoin. Bitcoin up right now 5%. One of the things we mentioned Friday was we needed to get a move back above 40. That's the level. And as of right now, we're doing just enough to be bullish, but it wouldn't surprise me if we would have taken out a low and dropped, you know, kind of like what we saw here and here, etc., since we've been dropping since November. However, as we noted since the beginning of the month, if price can push above that line right there, which is just above 40K, but I mentioned 40K as just the kind of clean level to watch. If we can push through that line, that's what will change the direction of this trend from kind of a medium-term basis. We've been trending lower ever since that top in November, and you can see here ever since it broke the pivot range on the way up, and we had the lower value, higher value relationship here. It's been lower value, and now here's the break. So this is going to be very important. Now, we still need to hold that level by the end of the month to change the directional conviction. But you can see, if we close the month here, it would be a higher value relationship with the shot to see a buy, the dip, and go. And right now, this is looking very, very bullish with the way that a lower low was not seen, a push back above prior pivot highs, and now back above the previous month's midpoint. This is very bullish, and any pullback, say like the 39, could still provide an opportunity here. We could be looking at a move to 46 in the previous year's close very, very quickly. So very interesting how this is playing out right now, and a very bullish push through 40. Any pullback here, any drop below 40K could provide the next buy the dip opportunity for a continuation higher toward 46s. Let's take a look at Ethereum. Ether futures showing right now a strong move as well. We mentioned before that this one had been outpacing Bitcoin for the most part. Getting back above that 2750 was going to be important. Getting back above this prior pivot high was important. So when we developed it, we said that's the level to watch. And pushing through the mid was going to be important here to kind of push us through. Now, we've gotten that big move up like we just saw in Bitcoin, and today above the previous month's midpoint for the first time in a while. You know, again, this is not solidifying that we're about to just do this. It's just showing that right now bulls have enough juice to push this thing higher, and the next pullback could be an opportunity to continue this thing back up. We're looking for a return back to the previous year's close price. That'd be 36.85. A very strong low so far here, coming in right at 2100, and that's coincidentally, or maybe not, right where the value low is, and already approaching value very quickly. So again, any pullback, even if it's back to 2750 to 2800, could provide an opportunity for bulls to buy the dip and push this thing back toward 36.85. All right, that is it for now. We'll see how this plays out heading into the new week of trading. Good luck, trade well, and I'll see you in the trading room. Take care.